And we are live. Sam Bam Koltun. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's very hot and humid here where I am in Australia.
Yeah, because it's your summertime, right?
It's summertime and it's supposed to be thunderstorming, but every time we get a thunderstorm in like a really warm heat, it's friggin' muggy as shit.
Oh, that's great.
It's gross. So before we hit the live button, you were saying you were on tour with Dorothy?
Yeah, we just got back from the Shipwrecked cruise, which was
Yep.
a really good time. A week on a cruise ship, playing a couple shows. This is my eighth rock cruise. This one that we
Oh
just
wow.
so um, quite a lot of stuff happened. It actually made national news because the ship slammed into a dock somewhere. I don't even really check where we go on these things. I'll just I'll get off maybe. Um, but luckily, I didn't get off that day because anyone who got off the ship got left on land for an extra few hours.
So are these is like this is kind of like the rock and the range, like the rock and like, is it the rock and the range cruise, whatever it is?
It's
Um,
like I don't know exactly, but basically all these cruises, it's almost like a music festival, but it's on a cruise ship. So
yeah. So like, do people get to hang out with you guys or anything like that?
yeah, yeah. I mean,
That,
there's on that cruise and on the Monsters Rock one that I'm doing in a couple weeks with Pastor Pussycat. There's uh, like certain meet and greet times, and but even just in general, I always just see people just hanging out a lot. And
yeah.
the meet and greet time. I mean, even on Monsters Rock, Faster Pussycat doesn't do a meet and greet because they say that the whole entire cruise is a Faster Pussycat meet and greet. So
Yeah. From what I've seen, like photos of like some of my favorite bands, I think like the Kiss cruise as well. Um, I think they had like Todd Kearns and Bruce Kulick doing like a bunch of like old school '80s Kiss songs and stuff like that.
yeah,
And
there's
that
all
would have
kinds
been
of cool
pretty
stuff.
cool to see.
Yeah, that's there's all kinds of cool stuff that happens on them, but it's fun.
Yeah,
At least the general rule of thumb is you get on as a band, you play two shows, most likely. On the Monsters of Rock cruise, I do a bunch of extracurricular stuff. A bunch
yeah,
of friends do jam, so I'll play as a part of a friend Izzy Presley's jam. I'll play as a part of Tyson Leslie's jam. He does a rare hair jam, and so yeah,
yeah.
it's a really good time.
That's awesome. So I sort of been doing some little bit of research on you on the web and on YouTube. So you started playing guitar at 10 years old, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So how did that all started for you?
Basically, just seeing a. I already kind of I knew I liked music to begin with, just even as a kid.
Yeah.
But when I was 10, I saw the TV show Rockstar NXS, where the band NXS was looking for a new lead
The
singer.
singer. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was Supernova, I think it's called.
that was the second season, but the
The second season. Okay, yep. Yep.
first one was the band NXS looking for a new singer, and the guitar player in the house band is a guy named Rafael Moriera, who is a friend now, but he just I thought he was super cool and had every Gibson guitar that you could imagine, and it was like, oh, I wanted to do that. So
Yeah.
that's where I really got the urge to start.
Yeah, playing. And then you remember your first gig playing um after you started picking up guitar and stuff like that?
Uh, I tried to think about this the other day. I can't really remember what exactly was my first gig besides subjecting, family at Christmas to trying to play in the living room.
Yeah.
So if you want to call that a gig,
I
but
guess so.
I guess. But
Yeah.
first actual gig in front of other humans that I wasn't related to, I don't totally remember.
Yeah. And didn't you play for like 7,000 people or something like that at 14 years old?
That yeah, that was not my first gig, but that was definitely the first.
Yeah, but that was like later on in
That was
your
yeah,
music.
that was really the if there was ever a time as a kid to define like this is what I want to do, that was a pretty good way to tell like, yeah, I think I want to try to do this. And but that's when I was 14 and got to open an arena show for a local band in St. Louis with my first band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. 7,000 people at 14. I think.
7,000, 10,000, 9,000. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a number, and then there's a lot of people.
It's a lot of thousands in there, but like, I think my anxiety level will be like this.
I mean, okay, sorry. I have a really bad habit of chewing ice, and I need to
No,
stop.
it's all good, man. I got a smoothie here that's not properly blended.
The playing in front of people thing, though, that's I can probably count on one hand the number of times that I've been nervous to do a show, and that was maybe the first, but there hasn't been many. Mostly because I don't know, playing on, and also by the way, the nerves. It was really just the anticipation of right before, but then the second I was up there, everything was cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've always just kind of thought that for me being on stage, it's kind of the one place I am comfortable. See, like right now, my anxiety is like.
Dude, doing this podcast is actually helping me with my social anxiety because I'm meeting new people.
Yeah.
You know, and especially with my job in the hospitality industry, I have to serve people and deal with complaints. You know what I mean?
And deal with people.
Yeah. Exactly right, my friend. Like it took me a while, but like when I was saying to you before we went live, doing the Pink Sock podcast helped me a lot with my social anxiety, and be able to talk to new people that I've never met, like yourself and other people and stuff like that. And it's been great.
That's a good thing.
It is. And then doing this as well is it keeps me busy, and I like being busy as well.
I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Dorothy, how did that came around? And I've been listening to like the last couple of albums that she's released, and she sounds like Lizzie Hale, but like with a bit of like Amy Winehouse influence a little bit, and I quite like that.
Yeah, she's got an amazing voice. Amazing voice. It's really really fun to play for her. The whole thing came around from really I knew her bass player Elliot. He's a really good friend and has been a really good friend. We do various gigs here and there. We had a couple things, and my name had come up about playing guitar for Dorothy when she was in the need, when she needed a guitar player. But at that time, I was on tour with Faster Pussycat, doing my first tour with them. So at that time, it didn't really work out. And then she finished that tour, that ended that record cycle, and then later on down the line, somebody who we will probably be bringing up at multiple periods of this podcast, Ace Von Johnson, who was a previous guest of yours. Ace
awesome
plays, for anyone who doesn't know, Ace is like my older brother I never had, and he plays in LA Guns currently, but he was also with Faster Pussycat for almost 10 years. And he's really good friends with Dorothy as well, and he brought her to the Viper Room where I was playing at a jam and brought her to see me play. And that was basically my audition. And then she's like, okay, jam with my band, and that was it.
Boom, you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah. She has a fantastic voice, and I've been listening to the latest album that came out, The Gifts from the Holy Ghost. Yeah, the last track, I love that guitar riff, and I learned that last night by watching one of the live performance you guys done a while ago, I think it was. And I can't read music. I went to lessons once and I quit because I'm very impatient when it comes to like learning things. I just want to learn things like this quick. So
right.
pretty much learn things by ear. So like I was just kind of like watching the chord progressions of how you play it and stuff like that. Still getting there. I just like the intro to that song though. It's really good.
Is that the title track?
Yeah,
Blanking on the track list at the moment. Okay, the title track.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. I was actually jamming to that a bit today as well. Just like just trying to figure out that intro because I just like that intro, and your guitar tone is actually really, really, really good too.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Oh, anytime. And speaking of Ace Von Johnson, like I had him on here, and like he likes raving on about you and stuff like that, and he's such an awesome dude. I have nothing but good words for that man.
Same here. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like we kind of like stalk each other's like stories on Instagram and stuff like that. But like, I'll send him like, oh, even though we don't celebrate Thanksgiving here in Australia, but then I'll still send him a fucking happy Thanksgiving message to him because like he's my bro now. Like he's a good
Nice.
dude. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I had, sorry, dude.
No, I'm agreeing with you. He's a very good dude.
Yeah. So like, how did you meet him? Like as well, because I'd like to hear that story.
We've talked about this a couple times recently, like trying to pin down where we actually met, but we kind of weren't able to. There's questions and things
Yeah.
popping up. That's cool. Uh,
Yeah. I use StreamYard instead of Zoom. So with
oh, cool.
StreamYard, you can control the chat. So this is live on my Facebook page and on YouTube.
That's what I actually just realized about an hour ago. That's why I shared. Oh shit! Wait, it's actually live. Uh, but to go back to meeting Ace, I remember like quite a few times we'd meet and see each other in the scene out here in LA when I first moved out here and started going to the different jam nights and different nights that were happening.
Yeah.
And um, I can't really remember like where it really clicked, where we were like, oh, okay, we're friends now. I
Yeah.
guess we were just always kind of like friendly with each other, and we never really even like. I was even thinking about this earlier today. Uh, haven't even really played with each other all that much. I mean, so the which we're really. I mean, I text him in some form probably just about every single day, and yeah, but we met just from the scene in LA and just became friends. And when we really kind of got close when the Faster Pussycat stuff started,
Yeah.
when he
Yeah.
needed a sub and he reached out to me to do it.
Fuck. And to play Faster Pussycat too. Were you aware of like did you know any of the stuff before you joined them or anything like that? Like did you know any of their songs or any of their albums before you joined the band?
Not really. I only knew them from Ace being in the band, and I had seen them at some different festivals that I was playing with a different artist at the time, and we would cross paths and stuff. But
Mm.
um, you know, I guess I kind of like had a little bit of Cat House maybe in my head because I remember that little trill thing on the chorus, and then I heard certain things I guess kind of casually, but no, I didn't. I was not super familiar with the songs.
Yeah. And does that actually like make you as a fan of the music now since you've been playing in the band for a couple of years now, correct?
Yeah, this is actually this summer will be 5 years officially.
Oh wow.
It's like 20 in dog years.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
feels,
like that's pretty cool. And I think Faster Pussycat came to Australia a few years ago.
I,
Were you in that tour?
we came there last year.
There you
That's why
go.
I knew it was summer there because I was there last January at the end of last year.
Yeah, yeah. It was funny when I had Ace Von Johnson on, and we were hanging out backstage, and because my brother lives with me, so I introduced Ace to my brother, and we all hung out and stuff before we went live. The first thing Ace was like, "When do you come to America?" I'm like, when I have the money." and stuff, because I would love to hang out with him just like for a day and stuff like that. And I'm gonna have him back on soon. I'm not too sure when, but I did shoot him a message at like 4 o'clock in the morning my time, to talk about tattoos, horror movies, and guitars. So
Nice.
yeah, and I just found out that you play for Crossbone Scully.
That is a newer development. Yes.
Ah, what's it like working with Tommy Hendrickson? Because um, that dude, I know he started off as a bass player back in the '80s, I think. But
Yeah.
then I think when it was like in the Alice Cooper camp or something, or mixing the Alice Cooper one of the Alice Cooper albums, I was wanting him to play guitar or something like that. But fuck, he's a great guitarist as well.
He really is, and great singer, which is what he does with the Crossbone Scully thing.
Mm.
So yeah, I was brought in. There was a weekend where he was filming a couple of music videos, and a really close friend of mine, a guy named Al Bain, he
Yeah,
has the company Al Bain for Leather. He makes my guitar straps, which are the best guitar straps ever. And
they're the leather ones, correct?
yeah, I'm looking at a stack of them.
Oh, no, yeah, I didn't play in a band or anything. Although I've been offered to play in a band, like a covers band, and it was like there's going to be like sort of like '80s rock and some pop music and stuff. But then I kind of bailed out due to work commitments. Then I kind of regretted it, but then stage fright and stuff like that. But yeah, I use leather straps as well. I don't like the Velcro ones; they actually like leave like a bit of a rash. But yeah, what were we talking about?
Oh, so,
Oh,
so
Hendrickson.
Al Bain introduced me to Tommy Hendrickson quite a few years ago. I was supposed to maybe sell some gear for Tommy, which he ended up not doing that. He dumped it all at Guitar Center. I actually bought one of the guitars.
Yeah,
But so then the Crossbone Scully thing came around, and Al contacted me. It's like, hey, I need this bass player's name. And I was like, oh, well, what do you need this bass player's name for? And he's like, oh, Tommy's doing music videos. And I was like, oh, I have a bass. I'll do it. And so he sent a picture of me to Tommy, and Tommy was like, he called me. He's like, I didn't think you'd want to do it. You're a guitar player. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Bass in your music videos? Like, sure. And
yeah,
so I did those with him. And then after that, one of those has come out, and then he was going to do some more, and he contacted me, and he was like, I want you to play guitar. And
yeah.
so we did 3 videos in one weekend, and I think one of those is out. One is coming out soon, and there's no dates on the books or anything yet, but that's the plan going forward, is what I'm told, with me playing guitar and another guitar player out of the UK, really talented female guitar player named Anna Cara is the other guitar player.
Yeah, I believe he might have like reached out to. Cause I was watching one of I can't remember what podcast interview it was on YouTube, but I'm pretty sure he reached out to her like through Instagram or something like that.
Yeah, that's where he found her, was through Instagram.
Yeah, and is he? Because he's just releasing singles now, isn't he? Isn't he releasing like a full length album at some point soon?
There is a full length album. He actually has even more than a full length album, but that's the thing that's being done at the moment, is releasing singles. Yeah.
Yeah. What was it? Unbreakable sounded heaps like Wanted Dead or Alive mixed with Def Leppard.
Well, it definitely has the Def Leppard vibe. As Mutt Lange was the producer on it, so he.
Yeah. Nah, I'm really grateful, Tommy, and even his other solo stuff that he's released over the years. Was it Tommy, and Starstruck?
Yeah.
Those ones were like more of the electronic pop rock vibe and that to it, but like it's still great. I can't find them anywhere on Spotify. I think he took them down or something like that.
Yeah, he's ultimately he's a really cool guy, and that's kind of where the relationship started was through Albane, and
Yeah.
I saw something flash up where yes, Albane also makes the
T-shirts.
t-shirts. The whole reason I actually yes, doesn't Albane also make the t-shirts? Yes, the whole reason there is a t-shirt is because he was starting to screen print t-shirts. This was when he first got a screen printing machine, and now he does it with a heat transfer. But he got it and he said, "Okay, you're going to be the guinea pig." I'm like, "Wait, I don't have anything that we could put on a shirt." And he's like, "Your little Jurassic thing that you put on the pics." I'm like, "Oh God, oh you mean this logo just with my name on it?" Okay, so
Because they get sued.
he's I haven't yet, luckily, but it's too small of an operation, I think, for it to even uh, catch wind. But that's the whole reason why there even are Sam Bam shirts is
Yeah.
refer to myself in the third person is because I was his guinea pig,
Yeah.
and now he's
That,
got a ton that we got to make. So
yeah. I think with the Crossbone Scully thing, I think he's gonna make it sort of like into a concept album from what I've heard so far.
that's what I've heard too. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a comic
It's,
book and there's all this stuff that goes along with it too.
it kind of reminds me of that Iron Maiden Final Frontier album. It was kind
Yeah,
of like that.
that's kind of I think the idea too with with Scully, the character itself too is being like the Eddie or the Vic for Megadeth or
Yeah. Big
those kind of
Rattlehead.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So, who were your bands growing up as a teenager that got you into rock music?
I I mean, I think even as a kid, I was into rock music. I had really, um, for some reason, as a kid, I was always, and even kind of still, always just latch on to certain songs.
Yeah.
And as a kid, there was a couple of songs. One Headlight by the Wallflowers was my favorite song as like a baby, like a little kid. And then
Yeah.
uh, Elevation by U2 was another. And I'm not even really that big of a U2 fan, no, but it's like,
Mm.
uh, not to say that they're not great because they are. I'm just uh, not a super avid listener. But
Yeah.
those songs, for some reason, I loved. So I always kind of gravitated towards rock. There was never like there was
Subgenre.
yeah, it was I don't know, it wasn't just like, oh, I got into rock because I got this album and because of this. It's just
Mm.
I just always kind of liked it. I don't really uh I wish there was a cooler answer than that.
Nah, man. Yeah. Kiss for me
I hear
was like
that for a
one.
lot of people, yeah.
Yeah, when I'm 38 now, I'm hitting 40 soon. But yeah, Kiss for me when I was a kid, man, there was just something that I just wanted to be like them with the face paint and everything. And that's the reason why I play guitar and play Les Pauls is because of Ace Frehley.
Nice.
And but yeah, Kiss and Alice Cooper, Poison, like but Alice Cooper was like my idol. He was like people when I was like younger, people were like super into like Superman and Batman and as their superheroes. Man, my superhero back when I was like a young kid, man, was like Alice Cooper for God's sake. Because to me, he was like the superhero or the super villain of rock and roll.
Nice. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's it definitely went from that, and then I mean, eventually, of course, I got into to bands and different things like that. I know back then, a band that even rings true today is a band called Monster Magnet. I got into pretty early, and
yeah,
uh, just all again all different stuff, just anything that was kind of on the radio too, and also it came up during the time of LimeWire, which was present in my household. So,
yeah. I
we'd have
remember that.
yeah, we'd have burnt CDs of like Monster Magnet songs and Puddle Mud and
Yeah,
like Saliva and like I don't know all different stuff
yeah,
like that. I don't and,
Yeah, I was like that with LimeWire back in the day. Back when it was, I don't know if it's
I
still
think
active now.
everybody's a little guilty.
Oh, dude, I think it was like the only way to discover music and bands and stuff like that. Because I think like back then it wasn't really like Spotify and stuff like that. MySpace was probably close to like discovering bands as well,
Yeah,
which I still have my account somewhere on that too.
I was trying to find mine actually recently, but I couldn't get logged in to it. But
Yeah, same.
I saw that the MySpace account still existed, so that's why.
Yeah, yeah. So for playing, we're playing with different bands like Faster Pussycat, Dorothy, and Budderside too. By the way, it's fucking amazing.
Oh,
The new album it's really heavy. Like I really love it.
I would like to clarify. I appreciate that the new single. Unfortunately, it's out on the streaming services as an album, and I don't know why, but for some reason, each time we release a single, we have been releasing it as an EP with all the previous songs on it, and now, since
Yeah,
now gained to be 7 songs, the collection has come out as an album, which uh, to me is quite irking because it's not the full album. There is going to be a full 12-song album at some point, uh,
gotcha.
but that's just it's the single. But the 7-song album, I appreciate that you like it.
I've been listening when I told like my manager at work because he knows who Faster Pussycat is and shit. I'm like, hey, dude, gotta be interviewing Sam Van Koltun. I'm like, who's that? He plays for Faster Pussycat. Just really I'm like, yeah. And he has this band called Budderside. I should like go and listen to them and stuff, dude. It's like just hard hitting hard rock. It sounds like you're playing like in Drop C or something like that.
A lot of it, yeah. There's on that song, Good for Nothing's in Drop C, uh,
Yeah,
and then some other ones are in Drop D, some other ones are in Drop B.
yeah. All three of my favorite tunings.
Yeah,
And Drop C sharp. You
I
can't go
love.
wrong.
Yeah,
You
love.
know, it's just something about that low E string that you can just play that one finger chug or power chord with it as well.
There's
You know,
something about not being in standard tuning that I just love.
that's what Mark Tremonti said in what was it? Rig Rundown on those on
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah.
He never plays anything in standard.
He is all over the place in on tunings, and it's really
Yeah,
like it's something that even last night I was even kind of trying to experiment with a little bit, and something I definitely am going to delve into more because um, it's just really amazing the amount, like talking about that guy just in particular, the amount of music that guy has uh, created just with Alter Bridge alone. But then there's Creed too, and like
mm,
it's it's really a lot of interesting stuff. So yeah, it's amazing what doing a couple different things on the tuning can kind of open you up to different ideas.
yeah. That's what he was saying. Even Miles Kennedy was like that too. Like it's good to experiment with those type of tunings. I believe Mark Holcomb from Periphery likes to play in very very low odd tunings as well.
Yeah,
To experiment. You know.
it's just trying to experiment and trying to find something that maybe sounds a little different. There's just so much that's been done already that it's like just trying the search for trying to find for something that sounds different and maybe sounds new and fresh is it's something I spend a lot of time doing in this room, and you know
Yeah.
we'll
So
continue
the
to do
little
it.
recording room, jam room.
Yeah, that's what it's got. uh, a good amount of the guitars, it's got some of the amps, and it's my little recording area. This is my chair. We're talking on the computer, And
Yeah, this is kind of like
so
that's sort of like that in here. Like you got my bedroom, you got the TV, then you got the veranda facing the view out there. But then I've got my Les Paul, my gold top Les Paul, the picture that I sent you on Instagram.
yeah,
That's an Epiphone, by the way, too. Gibsons are too
I saw,
expensive
but
now.
with the new headstock, yeah.
Yeah, but I think this is a 2012.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is a Japan model.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I think, and I bought that secondhand like 6 years ago. You could probably tell the coloring because I played a lot,
Yeah,
so it's kind of wear it out a little bit. Which I got Seymour Duncan's GB pickups.
nice.
Yeah, which and I put new locking tuners in. Haha, dude,
Compare
we're
gold.
twins.
Yeah.
We're twins. Did we just become best friends? Was another step
Oh,
brothers or something like that?
maybe. That gold top, my singer of Faster Pussycat, Tammy, he has that same guitar, but like a year earlier than that one that he got from
Yeah.
Gibson back in the '90s. So
Yeah, I think this is made in. I can't see it's dark. Yeah, it's made in Japan. So I think this is like the I don't know mid 2000s or something like that. But it plays well, and the neck is like really thin, so it's kind of like playing a Strat.
yeah, that next
So
on that one's really thin too.
which is easy to play, like easy to play around chords and like shred.
I
You
guess
prefer playing thinner necks?
I do, but like it's funny because that gold top actually has a really really thin neck, and it's not my favorite, but it's my favorite neck is actually on this guitar, which is it's a '71 Les Paul Custom. This is what my number one is.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You know,
Yeah, I love that.
no finish on the back of the neck.
Is that just for like a better grip when you're playing? Because I notice a lot of guitar players do that.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, this is how I got it. So
Okay.
I
Yeah.
bought it secondhand, which that guy probably got it secondhand, and so this is I'm probably third or fourth or fifth hand on it, and the
What
last.
locking tuners do you use?
These aren't locking tuners. These are just whatever I
Stock.
believe are stock.
Yeah.
But I have this one and I have another black Les Paul Custom, and to differentiate between the two is the other one has a pick guard on it. But I just dropped that off with a friend to have him refret it. So, but that neck and this neck are my favorites, which are
That's a beautiful guitar.
they're
I
kind of thin, but also like
like that. I always wanted the
not.
black Les Paul.
Me too. That's why I've got 3 of them.
Yeah. I got another one. I took like pictures of them. See if it will come up. Here it is.
Huh.
So that's my gold top on the right, or leaning to your side. And
Yeah.
this was the first Les Paul that I guess it's like a sunburst or cherry burst.
Yeah,
I always change pickups on those because that's just me.
I do as
I
well.
feel like, yeah, it's like making your own. I don't like buying signature guitars. I like buying them stock and making them your own.
Nice. Yeah.
It's always good to invest money on stuff like that. I think I got the Damasio pickups. Shit, I think it's the activators. I think the ones on that. Sounds really good, and I think I got that in drop B, and the neck in that thing is thick. It took me ages to play.
That's actually really funny because my burst that's sitting right next to me is also in drop B and also has a really thick neck. Not that kind of sunburst. Kind of sunburst. But yeah.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Also changed the pickups on. Yeah.
Is that tobacco sunburst?
I guess so. Kind of.
Yeah.
But it's a little more bourbony.
Yeah.
But yeah, also has a a really thick neck that I'm constantly trying to sand down a little bit with steel wool.
I find there's like a big tone difference between a thinner neck and a thicker neck.
Um, I guess there could be, yeah. I don't like the sound of the thick neck, I guess.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
guitar sounds really good to me in B, and it's been a really, really good, reliable guitar. But I was trying to tune it up to standard to try it on some other stuff, and I was like, I don't think I could. Uh, I don't think it has the thing to be like a number one, like
Yeah.
especially in a like a Dorothy situation where the one guitar player. But I also I really just feel like it sits well in the low tunings. Certain
Oh,
ones, certain ones just do that well. So
same with the one that I have. I call this the drop tune guitar.
yeah,
Then I got a Fender Strat. Um, that was the first real own. That was the first. I call it real guitars because it's like a real brand. None of the cheap stuff, like the cheap Fenders and shit. This is a Fender. I don't know what model what year it is or whatever. It's a made from Mexico.
okay,
Strat. Yeah, I've had that for like maybe shit 9 years, 10 years maybe. It was one of the first real guitars I bought with my money that I've saved up, and I just put a bunch of stickers on it, and I just changed the single coil pickups on there.
nice.
Yeah, I just put stickers on there just to make it look like freaking Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day.
I understand.
That then I got a 7 string that I bought for my 30th birthday like 8 years ago, which those are great. And yeah, I just got a Samick electric acoustic guitar, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Nice black one. But I do have one guitar which I think you might appreciate. And I got this for a birth. I got this from one of my best friends, also a fellow chef. He bought me this for my 35th birthday, and it's SpongeBob guitar.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's something.
yeah. I had my friend Corey Thomas. He plays in a band called Valkyrie AD. He said the same thing. He bought me this guitar. The only problem is the action is too high,
Yeah.
which is the problem with these guitars. But dude, if you ever come to Australia and we ever have a chance to hang out, you can probably do some recording with this guitar if you want.
For sure.
But yeah. I don't really play this one much. This one is like maybe played it like twice or something like that. But yeah, this stays in the case.
Yeah, that's definitely one to keep in the case for sure.
I'm looking for a Hello Kitty one, just for a collection.
Nice.
But so since you've been playing in different bands, do your rig change, like your amps and pedals or anything like that, or do you kind of make it keep it the same? Or
Everything changes a little bit uh, between bands. So for Budderside, I have a quad cortex rig, but I use an amp still. So I use the modeler for effects and stuff, and
yeah,
and then the rig for Pussycat and Dorothy is kind of similar. There's a few different pedals that change. For Pussycat, I use a talk box for a few songs. For Dorothy, I use like a Univibe on some songs. For Dorothy, the board gets a little bit bigger, and for Pussycat, the board gets a little bit smaller. But those two, there's a lot of similarities with the pedals and amps and gear. I just use them all in different ways because for Dorothy, the guitar tone live it's kind of supposed to be like quite a bit darker, which
yeah,
is I'm super into. It's even growing up as a kid, I always just hated a harsh, shrill guitar tone. And
yeah.
For Pussycat, I add a little bit of that high end back end, but
Yeah.
guitars and stuff pretty much stay the same across the board. Um, like I said, that Sunburst Les Paul that's kind of tuned down. That's what I'll use for the Budderside songs to get tuned down to B and C. And
Yeah.
then for Dorothy, I'll use it for the songs that get tuned to C sharp standard, which are like Raise Hell and After Midnight for anyone who knows the songs.
Yeah.
And but then the main guitar, pretty much across the board for all three bands, is for standard tune stuff is one of the two Black Les Paul customs.
Yeah. That's cool. That's really cool. Um, Shit, I had another question I was gonna ask you, and then my mind just went blank.
Ah,
Oh yeah.
right,
You don't drink or do drugs or party.
I do not. I do
Good
not.
man. Me either.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I stopped drinking like maybe almost 8 9 years ago, man.
Oh, congrats.
Cheers. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like a game changer.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. Like
Yeah.
you can still have fun and not have any of that shit in your system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So was it a life choice decision for you to, because you never touched alcohol since you started drinking, like turn 18, 21 or whatever it is?
Yeah. I've never touched. I've never had a drink ever. So uh, that there is no. That is Max in the background. Yes, that's him.
Hey, Max,
Him
just chilling.
just straight chilling. Um, yeah, I've never had a drink and never smoked, never done a drug. So, was it a life decision? I just never really had the interest. Growing up playing in bars, I I was around it, and not that I would have partaken to begin with, but I also grew up in a household where my parents didn't drink, and uh, I had a few examples here and there where I was like, oh, okay, I'll stay away from that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really where the decision, came in, and it's worked. For me, it's I still try my best to hang as much as I can. I'd be,
Yeah.
but and also it works out for the three main groups that I'm a part of. Actually, oddly enough, all three singers are sober / in recovery. So uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I always kind of we get along.
No, which is good. And actually, like, it's actually really good for up here as well, especially if you have to play like, I don't know, like 4 5 6 shows in a row or whatever it is. You know what I mean? You have to stay on your game for like
Yeah, I mean,
9 minutes or whatever it is.
for being good up here, I need all the help I can get, and and, and yeah, like I can't imagine waking up the hearing people describe having a hangover and whatnot. I'm like, man, I feel bad enough waking up as it is. I can't imagine like just, after
I
partying, it's like,
I've had my bad experience with alcohol, and that's when I kind of just stopped. But then it was also kind of like affecting my fitness as well, and I would want to focus on my health and fitness, and then going out and drinking and after drinks at work and all that shit. So yeah, it's one of my life decisions I've made. A lot of people doubted me, saying that you're not going to last long, not having any of that shit. But
yeah, there's nothing wrong with anybody who does and decides to, and that's cool. It's just for me personally, I'm just not
same.
had the interest, and that's why you know we're able to make our own decisions.
Yeah, Chad drinks enough for you.
Yes, he does. That was, that was another thing, was joining Faster Pussycat when I was 24. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm don't need to do this. Don't need to drink. It's like, whoa.
Nah, nah, man. And
And
music is
they've
great.
all toned it. The rest of the guys in the band have all toned it down. Brian making that comment about Chad. Brian goes way back with Chad. They're childhood friends, so that's why he's able to make that.
Ah, cool. Yeah,
Why he's able to make that joke. But yeah,
yeah.
they've all kind of cooled it down, at least prior to the shows, which is nice because that's there's nothing worse than just trying to be up there playing a show and then somebody else can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. No, man, I like that. It's a smart choice, and music obviously is your drug. You know,
Yeah, that's the other thing too.
music and gear. And if it's something that you like and enjoy doing, just stay with it, man.
Music and gear. Let's see. I can't
Which
really.
I could see your amps right there, dude. Fucking, I love that. Yeah, is that an orange head?
Well, that one actually isn't mine, but that's a little it's a little red. It's my tech and slash neighbor slash who also works for Tracy Guns Fitz. He
Yeah.
anybody on the podcast who is watching probably knows or has probably seen me post something about Fitz, the tech with the beard. He just got that head. Like Tracy Guns, who he also works for, was doing a thing around NAM Week where it was like I think a Ronnie Montrose thing, and he was getting
Yep.
playing a couple songs. He did a couple songs with Jesse Hughes from Eagles of Death Metal, and
Oh yeah.
Jesse had that amp, and Fitz just always goes like, "I want that. I want one of those." And at the end of the rehearsal, the guy was like, "Oh," Jesse was like, "Here, take it."
It's yours now.
Yeah, some Fitz brought it over before he left on tour with Tracy and was like, "You got to hear this," and
Yeah.
I love it. It's awesome, and it's red.
Um. Uh. My friend Mike Usnick from Pink Sod Podcast is in the chat, and shout out to him because if it wasn't for this guy, I wouldn't be doing his podcast today, man. So Mike, I love you. Sam loves you too, and I'm pretty sure Sam's dog loves you as well, even though it's passed out the store.
All right, I keep grabbing my phone because I keep getting phone calls.
Notifications. Ah, yeah.
Yeah,
You live in a rock and roll lifestyle, dude. Like it
no,
is what it is.
I just work with people that are older than me that like to physically call you on the phone instead of texting.
I don't like that. I prefer texting.
I do too, but at the same time, like with certain cases, like that was Tammy calling me, so it's like
Oh, really? Oh,
we
you
get a
can put
lot
them on loudspeaker.
we get a lot more done when it's like when we're able to just like talk and be like, okay, let's do this and whatever. So yeah,
Yeah. See, I prefer texting because like I can just type whatever I want without having to fucking stutter on the phone for like 20 minutes to somebody.
yeah. I also don't really mind the phone though because I have this really horrible habit that started as I was a kid, and I've never told anybody this, but
Oh,
that's a lie. I mean, because people know anybody who knows me that sees me on the phone, it's like, why the fuck is that guy walking around? When I was a kid, uh, back home, my family we had phone service Sprint, and
yeah.
Sprint never worked in our neighborhood or particularly at the house. So I would get a phone call, and then I would go walking around the neighborhood to find like signal or find places that I could talk on the phone. At which it's like, why? I don't even know why I needed to talk on the phone then, but yeah. And so now I have this horrible habit, which maybe isn't that horrible. I guess I'm getting my steps in, but anytime somebody calls, I'm just fucking pacing all over the place. And it's like I grab the dog and it's like, oh, let's go for a walk.
Yeah. Yeah, which I did see you take your dog for a walk. How old's your dog, by the way?
He is like 15.
Oh, what's that in dog years?
As long as I've been in Faster Pussycat.
Yeah. Now, let me just Google this up, hey. Okay. So 10 years is 30. Wait, human years is 31. It's old. I'm guessing it's old.
It's old.
Yeah. um, sometimes I look after my mum's dog, and it's like a little box terrier or Jack Russell or something. And for some reason, it likes everyone else. It likes my mum because she's the owner, but it likes my sister and it likes my brother, but it just doesn't like me. And I don't know what's the issue these there. So Sam, can you help me out here?
No, I can't because half the time it doesn't like me either. I think it's because I pick them up too much and try to love them too much. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
try to do the same thing with my mum's dog.
I don't know. And then Tammy's dog, Tammy's girlfriend's dog, Carlos. When we're on tour, they bring the dog, and it's great. But Carlos always likes to just sit and hang out with me, and everything's always cool. But then certain people come on the bus, and he just freaks the fuck out. So
Oh, really? Yeah.
it just goes nuts.
I like this comment right here.
Better than saying, "Can you hear me now?" on repeat. What's that? Oh yeah. And that's funny because now I have Horizon, so, and that was always the commercial, right? Can you hear me now?
Max is about the same age as my Chihuahua.
Ah,
That's
nice.
nice. Little ankle biter dogs, that's what I like to call them.
Yeah.
It's retirement age.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's retirement right there.
Dude, that should be me soon, man. My retirement here in Australia, I think it's like 70 or 60 years old, whatever it is, if you want to retire from the workplace. I've still got a long way to go. But so this is obviously like a music and horror movie podcast. Are you into horror movies? You can say Jurassic Park is a horror movie.
You
Because
could,
the last couple of Jurassic Park movies are brutal.
yeah, like as in horribly bad.
I haven't seen the last one that came out because I've just heard nothing but bad reviews with that one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I hate to speak ill of my favorite franchise, but no, and I don't mean horribly bad. That was for a joke, and the joke worked. You laughed, but those first three movies are really super awesome, and I love them very much. And for me, I kind of grew up not for any particular reason, just never would watch movies really.
Yeah.
So, and there's a lot of things that I'm kind of having to, now that I live in a different place and kind of have some time off here and there, have started to watch more things and kind of get a little more cultured in movies. So the horror movies that I have seen, I do like, even though it's taken me a little bit because I'm not super great with gore and anything. So even kind of
took me a while.
Even kind of talking about stuff, I just like I can't talk about it. So yeah, but Halloween's great.
Yes. Yeah. Have you seen like the 2018 and Kills and End?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
What did you think? What did you think on how it ended with like Halloween Ends?
I'm trying to remember the ending. What was the ending?
To me, that was kind of disappointing.
I remember the that's the most recent one, right? I remember that that was pretty. I was hearing that it was pretty disappointing across the board. I thought it was cool. I dug it. I liked it. There's. I definitely thought the other two in that series, I guess, Kills and the 2018. Is that what you said?
The 2018 one, it was sort of like a sequel from the first one.
Yeah. I thought those were really, really great.
Yeah, I thought that was good too. But H2O was always going to be my favorite one because that was like the most cheesiest one out of the whole franchise.
H2O, yeah, I just watched that one recently too.
Yeah, like everybody was talking about like how bad Josh Hartnett's hair was back in that day.
It's I'm getting into it slowly, so maybe maybe next year have me on again, and then Salsa gotta watch. I've actually seen both of those.
Which ones?
Midsummer and Hereditary.
Midsummer,
Right.
a girl that I work with at my work told me to watch it, and I watched it, and I saw her the next day. I'm like, what the hell did I just watch?
Fucked up, right?
That was wild, man.
Yeah. That and Hereditary too. I haven't
Uh,
seen either of those in a while, but I have seen them. Thanks to
mm,
Daly, he. I've got friends and people that have been slowly getting me into movies,
yeah,
and um, it's not for any particular reason. I just like it. Honestly, probably even just got to a point where it's like there's so many things that I haven't seen that I don't even know where to start,
yeah.
and
Especially like a big franchise like Halloween or maybe like Scream or something like that. You got to watch
which
like the timeline in order.
which I've seen all those now as well,
Same,
and
they're my favorites.
and not a horror movie, but like Star Wars. I've seen all those now, and
Yeah,
so it's taken time, and it'll happen. It'll happen. Uh, it'll keep happening. But
yeah.
yeah, so
Just hang
maybe
out with Ace. Just hang out with Ace Von Johnson, man. That dude's got like a horror collection in his house. I've
oh
seen it.
I know I have too, and he'll stay here actually when he's in town, and we've watched some things together. But again, slowly but surely, it doesn't happen overnight, especially when also when I'm home, it's like especially once I get in the mode of trying to write stuff, I really just
Yeah.
focus on that. And
Well, that's it. Yeah.
you know
Um.
and
Yeah.
then you gotta also you gotta fit in the movies, then you gotta fit in seeing every episode of Seinfeld, and then you gotta there's a lot of stuff, and then you gotta take Max on a 20-minute walk because he's in no hurry to get it done. And
Yeah.
you know
Yeah. And it pretty much takes up most of your days off too.
yeah.
And all you want to do is like focus on music and relax and eat dinner and then go to sleep.
Or just sit in bed for hours. That's all I wanted to do today. Just
Yeah. That kind of sounds like me on my days off, man.
yeah.
But since you were talking about Star Wars, like I actually just gotten into the Mandalorian on Disney Plus.
I haven't seen that.
I'm a bit behind on it. Everybody at work has been fucking talking about it, so I might as well start watching it, and so I can fit in and shit like that. I'm a big fan of Star Wars as well, but I like the stuff that came out in the '80s, like Empire Strikes Back and all those ones and stuff. I wasn't really too big on the newer ones that came out and all that shit. Like Mike from Pink Sock, he's a huge Star Wars fan, and he's actually got the original VHS um, movies or whatever it is of Star Wars, like the actual original
Oh,
like
really?
footage. Yeah, he's a big Star Wars fan and stuff. But before we go, I might just ask you like maybe like five more questions, and then we can head off because it's like what 9 o'clock over there now.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'll be up till 4, but see, this
Yeah,
is so it's like almost noon there, right?
it's almost 4 p.m. here.
Oh, almost 4 p.m. Oh, I don't know why. I did that math super wrong.
Uh,
Um,
don't worry, man, because we're in daylight savings here, and for some reason I put Easter Standard Time on
huh,
the thing, and but then I just remember you're in Central. Is it Central or Pacific?
Pacific.
Central. Yeah, because it's like you guys have like 20 different time zones, and it was heaps hard. It was even when I was getting Ace, we were like messaging each other when I was at work, and I'm like, so if it's this time for me here, is it this time for you? And I'm like, just give me a second, let me just Google it. No, wait, no, that's wrong. Like
Yeah.
it's difficult. But so my last couple of questions. So like, who are your top five guitar players?
Um, that's always a hard list to narrow down. Um, and I always think of an answer not when I'm talking to somebody like this. And I
Yeah,
always have it figured out. It's like, oh, okay, next time I'm asked this question, I'm gonna, I know what I'm gonna say. And
yeah,
then next time I'm asked the question, I'm sitting here like a deer in headlights, like what the fuck. my the my top favorite guitar player has been Jerry Cantrell for quite a number of years.
Yep.
He's been number one. I'm a really big fan of Vivian Campbell's playing as well. Um, love how Richie Faulkner from Judas Priest plays.
That
Uh,
dude's insane. Especially when his heart exploded.
yeah.
It's like-
Um, I'm definitely a fan of, although he's a friend of mine and also my neighbor and landlord, Tracy Guns. I'm a very big fan of Tracy from LA Guns and how he plays and
Yeah, same.
his melodic sense and his improv and all that stuff. Um, I really like. There's a guy, like a newer guy um, on Instagram that I've followed for a long time, Chris Buck.
Okay.
He's an amazing guitar player.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of we'll we'll leave it at that. And I mean, I'm also just a fan of guitar players that are, that I'm friends with. There's a lot of friends that I even just, love their playing.
Yeah. Yeah. I had that. I said the same question to Ace Von Johnson too, and he was like, he was finding it hard to find the final two ones because, like, it's hard to pick. You know.
It's hard to narrow down, and even
Yeah.
with Ace, where I'm in a text thread with him and a few other guitar players: Ace, Tony Higbee from Tom Kiefer's band, Jeremy Asbrock from Ace Frehley's band, Tori from Enough's Enough, and Tim Mosher from Junkyard. And I'm like, even though I like, there's 5 guitar players that I think are great and that are really,
Yeah.
really great guys, and that I talk to pretty much on the daily. And
Yeah.
um, yeah, so that's where I'm going to leave that answer. There's a lot. It could go on for a while.
Oh yeah. My list is kind of like that as well. Like for me, it's like Ace Frehley. Um, it's one of the reasons why I play guitar and play the Les Paul. So it's like Ace Frehley, Ryan Roxy from Alice Cooper's band.
Oh, Ryan.
Um, yeah, I met him once. I think it was the Motley Crue final tour or whatever it was. Um, yeah, it was. Yeah. Ryan Roxy, then Slash.
I mean, yeah.
Um,
How can that not be in everybody's top 5, right?
yeah, um, just Slash alone, like his guitar playing. But then I like the newer guitar players as well. There's a guy from Sydney. He plays in an instrumental progressive rock band called. His name is Pliny, I think it is. He's actually really good. I'll send him some of your stuff. He's from Sydney,
Awesome.
and Polyphia, Tim Henson from Polyphia,
Nice.
amazing for what he does, shredding on such a really low gain, clean tone amp. It's fucking amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. If there is one gear that you can live without, with which gear would it be?
One bit of gear.
Yeah.
I'd say that black Les Paul Custom that's sitting to my right here, the one that I flashed earlier.
Yeah.
That's the one. I would
Yeah.
much prefer to not live without that. Plus,
Oh,
I guess you can technically live without an amp, but it's kind of hard to play guitar without a guitar. So
exactly right. Yeah. If there's a second last question, um, if there's one guitar player that would you like to collaborate with and release an EP or a full length album, who will it be?
oh wow. Um,
I just thought of these answers questions just then too. By the way.
oh well, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't know. One guitar player to work with to make an EP, like God.
Anyone. It could be anyone that you've jammed with, or that you would love to jam with.
I mean, I guess, uh, how do you not say like a Jerry Cantrell or a Slash or somebody like that? I guess, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, yeah. And um, one last question: what advice would you give to any young guitar player out there? And do you prefer real amps or digital amps modeling?
Well, real amps.
Yeah, because a
100%.
lot of people are using digital ones these days now.
It's just it's not for me. Again, like I if I'm in a situation where I need to use it, I will adapt to it.
Yeah,
And like I mentioned earlier, for Budderside, I use a quad cortex, which is a modeler, but I use it for effects pretty much exclusively. Um, so I like amps. I might be young, but I'm a fairly old school, I guess, kind of player, or with old school thoughts or ways. And there's just something that's really cool about how an amp reacts with a guitar and some pedals. So
yeah, yeah.
um,
A lot of people are going towards those STL digital amps and new DSP, which is fine if you like jamming at home, but like live, you want to do the real thing. You know what I mean?
that's another whole subject, because there's this whole and now I'm going to sound very old, but there's the not old, but there's a whole scene of, I guess, people that play on Instagram and basically have this online presence that don't really play gigs. Some people play gigs, but
Mm,
that's where it's like, it's really kind of, I guess maybe it's easy to. I shouldn't say it's easy, because if I had to get the modeler out right now and make a tone here in a bedroom, uh, that's what I'm basically trying to get at, is that's different than doing it live and
yeah,
trying to achieve a certain sound and kind of refining it over years. I'm always chasing it.
yeah,
So um, that's just for me personally. I just really like amps, and I'm very grateful that I'm in situations that allow me to use amps. Uh,
yeah.
and then for your other question, just any advice for kids is play through an amp. No, any advice?
I'm gonna make a T-shirt with your face with the promotion photo that I made, and
Yeah.
at the back, play with real amps, kids.
No, any
That would
advice
suck.
for kids would I always say just how I grew up learning and playing, and how I feel like I got better was learning songs, learning stuff from your favorite groups, learning stuff that might not be, some stuff you might not like, or some, learn stuff you love, and try to grab different things from that. You'll learn, as you learn the song, you'll kind of learn different things that maybe you didn't know before, and then you'd be able to apply it to your playing. That's all I've really done all my life, is
Yeah,
learn stuff. Other than, I did go to school and I took lessons a lot, and but that's where you kind of are able to form your own thing, is from pulling from your influences and then pulling what you like, and then eventually it'll kind of become your thing. Oh my god. Uh,
I like that one. Let us know when the protesters are for that T-shirt. See what you done there. I like that. You're a smart marketing man. Any last words, Sam? Anything would you like to add, promote, anything?
I like how you said that. Any last words?
Yeah, any last words apart from playing with real amps?
Amps. Yeah, I guess anything to promote. Check out, if anybody, I'm assuming anybody watching probably already does know about it, but anybody who doesn't, please check out the new Butterside song and video for Good for Nothing. And we are touring the US this spring into March to mid-April, supporting the 69 Eyes, which will
Ooh, my
be
favorite
really,
band. Love them.
I like that band very much. And that's what's coming up for Budderside? Faster Pussycat is doing the Monsters of Rock cruise in a couple weeks. That's already sold out. If you're not on it, then you're not going to be on it. But we will be touring this like end of April, beginning of May time is what I'm hearing, and maybe a little bit more later in the year. And Dorothy is starting to work on some new music, and I think we're hopefully going to be all involved in that in some way, and hopefully she'll be touring later in the year as well. But that's really, if anybody's not following me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. I have one official page. I don't know why people keep making fake pages. I don't know why you'd want to be me. I barely want to be me. But so yeah, the official page has the blue check mark. So and that's me. So
yes. Sam, I appreciate you, man. If you want to hang out for a little bit longer at backstage for a little bit and stuff, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I'll hang out for a minute. I gotta jump up. I gotta jump and return these calls because I've got 2 calls from Tammy and 1 from Chad. So something must be going on. So,
it's all good. Yeah, we can hang out for like another 5 minutes or so if you like to. It's up to you.
Yeah.
But this guys, follow this man right here. Somewhere there. Anyway, Sam, I appreciate you. You're a good dude. And guys, follow Sam on all social medias. Go follow all of his bands. And guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you have been watching this on my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, I don't have an actual podcast Facebook page. I just do everything on my personal Facebook. Go to the YouTube channel. Should be a link on there, and hit that subscribe button. And I do have merch as well, so because I have a belly to feed and rent to pay. But Sam, I appreciate you guys. Thank you everybody in the chat. I really appreciate it. And guys, I see you all next time. And like what Sam said, play real amps.
Please don't make that a shirt.
I will. Just for you, though. All right, guys. Peace out.